It was a busy past weekend for Marquette athletics. Women's soccer took down Illinois State in their first round NCAA game.
And Marquette men's basketball got things started after the Carrier Classic being canceled. All this and more on the Golden Eagle Sports Report. Let's go! Welcome everyone, and I'm Sean Owens.
And I'm Michael Cianciolo. Marquette men's basketball started their season on Sunday instead of last Friday night due to weather issues on the USS Yorktown. Marquette took on Colgate in the opening round of the Maui Classic at the BMO Harris Bradley Center. Coach Buzz Williams got a blue and gold lay before the game tipped off for the Maui Classic. 2 minutes into the season opener, and Jamil Wilson gets the ball into the paint to find Chris O'Toole, who hooks in the shot for two. The MU big men scored plenty in this one. Colgate on offense just a minute later, and they'll dial it up from downtown as Mitch Rolls makes it a 4-3 game. Marquette on top. Vanderblue's drive falls short here, but MU retains the ball, and Devontae Gardner ends up with it. He'll back down his defender, having his way and getting the and one bucket. Gardner was fired up as the Golden Eagles take a 16-5 lead. Jamil Wilson working from the baseline, and he'll drive to the hole for the pretty reverse lay-in, and he gets a trip to the free throw line as he's fouled on the shot. MU goes up 9 and will take the game 84-63. Jamil Wilson leads all Marquette scorers with 15 points. Let's hear now from our own Shawnee Smith, who was at the BMO Harris Bradley Center.
The true season opener for the Marquette men's basketball team, as they didn't have to worry about condensation problems on the court of the BMO Harris Bradley Center. Balanced scoring all around helped lead the Golden Eagles to a win over the Colgate Raiders 84-63 for the first game in the EA Sports Maui Invitational.
I thought we were really good. The best 4-minute segment was the first 4-minute segment of the second half. As far as defensively it was. I thought Devontae and Chris and Juan and Trent, I thought those were the 4 best guys relative to executing what it is that we work on a daily basis. I think Derek and Junior not having a turnover is really healthy too.
Trent Lockett made an impressive debut as a Golden Eagle on Sunday with 7 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 steals. Coach Buzz Williams looks forward to what Lockett will contribute to the team throughout the season.
A guy that is going to be, as time goes on, I think he's going to be a guy that's really hard for us to get off the floor. Plays really hard, extremely intelligent, plays within himself, is never going to get out of whack, and is a great teammate. And so I think I anticipate he'll have a huge role on our team.
Another player that shined on Sunday was Juan Anderson. Anderson dished in 9 points as well as had a team high of 9 rebounds.
Like I can pick up a rhythm now. Last year I didn't get a chance to catch a rhythm, and I didn't really know what I was doing too much last year, but now being experienced a little bit, it'll definitely come a lot easier.
He had energy last year. He just didn't have purpose to his energy. And I think now he better understands how to play with that energy and have purpose in what he's doing.
Following Tuesday's home game against Southeast Louisiana, the team travels to Maui for the championship round of the tournament, where they will take on Butler in the first round. Reporting from the BMO Harris Bradley Center, Shawnee Smith, MUTV Sports.
And this now Tuesday night in the BMO Harris Bradley Center, where Marquette severely struggled against Southeast Louisiana. First half, Buzz Williams coaching there. Devontae Gardner gets the layup and one. Teammates congratulating him. Jamil Wilson pulls up and lays it off to Juan Anderson, who nails the 3. It'll be interesting to see him from the outside. Then Steve Taylor passing it inside to Devontae Gardner, puts it down and then in for 2. Marquette up 6-3. 13 minutes ago, Devontae Gardner now in the second half. He's celebrating as he gets another and one. You hear that famous chest pound and the and one. And then one more time, Devontae Gardner backing his defender down, steps over him as he makes the bucket. Marquette would struggle in this one, as I said before, but they would win 64-53, taking the win home against the Southeast Louisiana Lions.
Chris is so massive that you can kind of throw it to him. And Devontae is not going to get as deep a catch as Chris will, but he typically does a lot of good stuff. Yeah, I thought those guys were really good in the paint.
That was the easiest way to score, was to get it down to either me or Devontae, and or not necessarily me, Devontae, but just a paint touch, getting in the paint. Was our percentages in the paint touches were high.
Marquette women's basketball opened up the new season at home last Saturday night. The Golden Eagles suited up to take on the Butler Bulldogs at the Al McGuire Center. Marquette was excited to start the year off on their home floor. They would get the game's first points and never look back the entire game as Serena Simmons gets the bucket there. Simmons, with solid on-ball defense, comes up with the steal and gets the fast break layup. She would have 13 points in this one. The Golden Eagles find the 6'3" center Ajulu down low, and she gets the bucket. Marquette had a great day at the Al, shooting 47.3% from the field. 4 MU ballers ended the game in double-figure scoring, and Marquette was able to take down the Butler Bulldogs 73-62. Let's send it now to Aaron Mabin, who was at the game.
Saturday night at the Al McGuire Center was a tale of two teams as the Marquette women's basketball team faced off against the Butler Bulldogs. From the beginning, the Golden Eagles pulled ahead, and from there was no catching up. The Golden Eagles went on to win 72-63.
The message you're going to hear from us all the time is effort and toughness. And I thought we obviously had moments where we weren't playing well, but we were gutting through those opportunities, those times. I thought we played so well as a team. If you look at our 22 assists to 26 made baskets, I think that in a nutshell defines our team this year. We're very unselfish. We want to get it done together, that we don't have any superstars, and we look to each other, and we're rotating a lot of bodies because we want to run, even though sometimes we look really tired. We just want to push the effort, push it, and see what we can do.
After a great week of practice, junior Katie Young shined against the Bulldogs and performed just the way Coach Terry Mitchell needed her to.
Katie had a great week of practice, and it showed. Her passion on the court was amazing. Really, it came down to I could have started several people with their effort, and I asked her to be a spark off the bench, and she did exactly what I asked her to do.
Arlisha Morse led the team with 16 points, 6 rebounds, and a pair of assists, while playing Morse focused on not only her shooting, but also Butler's as well.
Butler's a great team. They came out, Terry emphasized that they're going to be shooters, and they came out and played the game that they knew they were going to play. The post got off on us, but the biggest thing is Terry told us to focus on their shooting, and towards down the stretch, they start hitting big shots. But I'm not going to take anything away from them because they're a really good team.
Next Sunday, the Golden Eagles will be facing off against Georgia Tech. Reporting from the Al McGuire Center, I'm Aaron Mabin, MUTV Sports.
Time Warner Cable Sports 32 has announced its broadcast schedule for Marquette men's and women's basketball games. TWC will broadcast a total of 8 men's and women's games throughout the season. Now for more on Marquette basketball, let's meet our analyst for tonight. Denny?
Hey guys, welcome into our analysis section. I'm Denny Gallagher, joined by Aaron Mabit and Pat Leary. And guys, Buzz Williams, should he be hitting the panic button after the team absolutely dropped an egg against Southeast Louisiana?
Denny, I think it's early in the season. I don't think we should really be worried at all. Thank God we did have Gardner, who knocked down 18 points, but we really have to understand that it is early, and I don't think Buzz should.
But hold on, let me just add there. They shot 33% in the first half. That's not Marquette.
Well, I think Aaron's point is valid, though. It's very early in the season. I don't think you can really say that you can panic based on games against Colgate and Southeast Louisiana. I don't think there's a whole lot you can learn from games like that. However, I will say that their shooting has been terrible this season. They are not making shots consistently, and you saw that in the game against Southeast Louisiana, that they could not make outside jump shots consistently. And I think a big part of that is Vander Blue, who is supposed to be a very improved shooter going into this season, has not made a jump shot yet this season. He's been driving fairly effectively, but he needed to pick up his outside shooting game for Marquette to be successful, and he hasn't done that yet. I will say, however, though, they are making a living inside, and that has been big for them so far.
But do you think that the reason why their production has gone down, it seems like they've changed their style of play. They've gone from more of the run and gun that we saw last year to more like just feeding it to Gardner and seeing what he can do from there.
It's it seems like a totally different team that I'm used to than I think a lot of fans are used to, and I think the team is used to. So that's why it's not as successful as they usually are.
Well, see, I don't know if I would say that it's necessarily less successful when they feed it inside. Layups are obviously easier than outside shots, but again, last season with Crowder and DJO, they had really, really good shooting, important players, and I think that will need to pick up as the season goes on.
Well, let's switch from the men to the women now, and as you saw in the highlight, they picked up the big W against Butler. Is this a big win or just something that we're going to see a lot of this season?
This is a new team, I think. The women are great. Katie Young came out to play. Alicia Morris came out to play. They're just doing great with 4 Golden Eagles in double digits.
Yeah, I mean, any win is good for them. They really struggled last season, so beating an opponent that most of us have heard of is really important for them.
Time's run out. Let's send back to Sean and Mike.
Coming up after the break, Marquette soccer has been dominating on both the men's and women's sides. Will the hot trend continue for both? Marquette women's soccer finally won their first Big East Soccer Tournament championship last week Sunday. This past Sunday, they faced Illinois State at Valley Fields for their first round of the NCAAs. In the Valley, where it was Bird versus Bird, Golden Eagle versus Redbird, in case you didn't know, and Marquette with the ball, Lisa Philbin is going to bury this one in the back of the net. Now Marquette will be on the break here after their celebration there. Team huddling up. But Marquette will be on the break here, and it seems as though they're going to have a goal. But no, not exactly, as you see the ref come in here in the last second, and he's going to call an offsides. It's free kick for Illinois State, but it wouldn't matter. Marquette wins 3-0, and for more on this, we will go down to Shawnee Smith, who's on the turf.
Friday night, Marquette women's soccer opened the NCAA Tournament at Valley Fields against Illinois State. Making it the 16th shutout of the season, the number 4 seed Golden Eagles defeated the Redbirds 3-0.
Well, there's no easy games, and I think this showed again that how difficult it can be. I think this is actually a match where we've scored multiple goals against an opponent in the first round in the years that I can remember. This time of the year, you want to play your game, you want to play attractive soccer, but it's also about winning and moving on. So, we've done that, and now we put ourselves in a position to move forward. So, we're excited about what the next game will bring.
Marquette's first 2 goals came in the first half, with the first at 4 minutes by Lisa Philbin and the second by Allie Miller at 27 minutes. She describes how the team is really coming together near the end of the season.
I think that we're starting to peak at the right time. I think that we've been playing well. The last few games we've played some really tough teams. We just played Notre Dame, Georgetown, and so I think that that's helped us prepare for this next journey.
After Friday's win, Marquette advances in the tournament, either playing Princeton or West Virginia in the next round. But regardless of who they play, Marquette is focused on playing their game.
It doesn't really matter who it is. I think there'd be perks to either game. West Virginia was in the Big East last year, and we just won the Big East, so it'd be nice for us to beat them, prove that we're Big East champs with or without them in it. But really, regardless of who we play, we're just looking for that next win and to play our game.
Reporting from Valley Fields, Shawnee Smith, MUTV Sports.
The Marquette women took on Princeton this Thursday afternoon in Provo, Utah for their round of 32 game. The Tigers went on the board first in the 11th minute of play, but Marquette rounded out the game with 3 unanswered goals from Maddie Vicker, Taylor Madigan, and Allie Miller. The Golden Eagles won the match 3-1 and advanced to the Sweet 16.
On the men's side, Marquette men's soccer has been selected to the NCAA Division I tournament for the first time in 15 years.
Overall team.
Marquette was selected 7th overall in the NCAA tournament. They have a first-round bye for their NCAAs, and their season RPI was ranked 7th in the country. Had the Golden Eagles not lost to Georgetown in the Big East tournament, they would have had a higher seed. Now let's hear from Louis Bennett for his opinion on the team's seeding.
In the past and what may probably go on in the future, there's always an element of you're not really sure. So I was really happy, elated to see that our body of work spoke for itself, and we clocked in at 7. That's great, fantastic. We started to see a lot of the community coming out and a lot of our student base growing, and this is what they deserve. I mean, they may have an opportunity, well, they will have the opportunity to see an NCAA game down at Valley Field. That's the second time in the program's history. So you can bet that we're going to give everything that we possibly have to bring them a victory at Valley Fields, which will be the first time ever. And I'm happy. I'm happy for the community, but more than anything else, I'm happy for the student athletes, and I'm happy for the students.
As you see here now, Marquette, with the 7th overall seed in the nation, allows them to have a first-round bye in the tournament. Their opponent will be from Illinois regardless of who wins, either Northern Illinois University or Northwestern University. The game will be played on Sunday at 4 o'clock Central Time in the Valley. Now we'll go back to our analysts for more on this bracket breakdown.
Guys, we're back here. Denny Gallagher and maybe Pat Leary. Guys, Marquette made the PPL Park. Unfortunately, they came up just a bit short to Georgetown in double overtime. How big is this for the program that they made it that far in the Big East tournament?
Denny, it's huge. We never made it this far. I think we can only go higher from here. So it's a huge milestone for the program and for the men's soccer team altogether.
Yeah, no, I agree. Getting there, they hadn't done that in a really long time, so that was really important for them, just getting there. And even though they didn't win the championship, they were able to get a 7th seed in the Big East tournament, which is huge. I mean, the 7th seed in the nation, that is a huge distinction for a program like this.
And now let's go from one team to another as the Marquette women brought home the Big East championship back to Milwaukee. How big is this for the program, and what do you expect for them on the road to the national championship?
Well, you know what? Saying that they could win the national championship is a bit of a stretch. I think they could definitely do it, though, if their offense picks it up, and I think a problem might be their earlier matches against UNC and Duke, which they really struggled in. But I think if they put it together and the offense is consistent, Megan Kelly, Taylor Madigan, they have a lot of offensive weapons that if they get on a roll, they can produce. Whether they do that or not remains to be seen, and obviously they won today. They're in the Sweet 16. They get a couple more wins under their belt. They're in that championship game.
Now, what teams can you look at and say that they have a realistic shot to bring them down? Because quite frankly, they're one of the best in the nation right now.
Well, if they have to play BYU tomorrow, which I believe is the case, or not tomorrow, but later this week at BYU, that is going to be a really, really, really challenging match for them. If they can get through that, though, I don't see who they can't beat, because if they can get through the massive home field advantage, Michael Cicero of the Tribune talked about that this week in his article, saying that they get over 2,000 people a game to watch BYU play. If they can overcome that home field advantage and that obstacle that they're facing, I don't see who they can't beat, especially if it's a neutral site as opposed to a home game for the other team.
Aaron, your thoughts?
Yeah, I got to talk to the girls in the AMU today, actually, and I also talked to the coach, and they're hungry for it. They're hungry for a win. They definitely want it, and I think they can do it. If they have to be on their A game, they're definitely going to play some great teams. So I want a national championship, so do they.
Don't we all? And nice name dropping, by the way. You casually saw them walking through the AMU today.
No big deal.
But anyway, that's about all the time we got for this section. Let's send it back to Mike and Sean.
The soccer programs are not the only ones succeeding this fall, are they, Mike?
No, Sean. Women's volleyball has been rolling. We've got more when we come back. The Marquette men's and women's cross-country teams garnered a 15th and 16th place finish, respectively, at the 2012 NCAA Great Lakes Regional Championships last Friday. The running took place at the Thomas Zimmer Championship cross-country course in Verona, Wisconsin.
The Marquette women's tennis team concluded fall competition on Saturday and Sunday at the Western Michigan University Super Challenge on the campus of Western Michigan. Sophomore Allie Dawson claimed the number 8 singles title in the challenge. Freshman Erin Gebbis finished in 3rd place in the number 1 singles draw. And sophomore Anna Pimienta earned a victory in the consolation final on Sunday morning. And now women's volleyball, who finished in second place outright in Big East regular season play.
Coach Bond's squad took on Louisville last Friday afternoon. The Golden Eagles had lost to the Cardinals earlier this season at home in 4 sets. Now in Louisville this time around, and we were treated to a lengthy and exciting sequence here that will ultimately end with a Lindsey Gosch spike. The Lady Golden Eagles were not fortunate enough, though, to come away with a road victory as they lose the season series with Louisville and are swept here in 3 sets.
Now we have a first set in the final Big East match. Danny Carlson served there for the Golden Eagles, but is collected by Notre Dame, who tries an attack but blocked by Holly Mertens. Later on in the match, Marquette collects a Notre Dame serve, which will lead to an Elizabeth Koberstein tip point. Notre Dame serving here, collected, and again, the ball will make its way over to Danny Carlson for the kill. Now Julie Jezorowski getting into the action. Koberstein over to Erin Lehman, who got the tip kill there, the freshman sensation. And one more time, Jezorowski makes the ball makes its way over to Holly Mertens, who gets the kill off the deflection. The Golden Eagles would go on to win 3-0. As you see the finishing kill by Danny Carlson there. She had 1,000 kills, and let's hear a little bit more from Danny.
I think we have a really special group of seniors. I love all the girls, and it's hard to think about this being our last regular season home game. But we know we had a lot of business to take care of with Notre Dame today, and so I think that focus kind of made us take our mind off the realization that this is our last regular season home game, and so it was really good to kind of get the job done.
This weekend, November 16th through the 18th, the Al McGuire Center will host the Big East Volleyball Tournament. Marquette has a 2-seed facing Pittsburgh Friday. If the Golden Eagles win, they'd face either Notre Dame or USF Saturday and potentially Louisville in the championship game Sunday. The Cardinals are the only team Marquette would face that has beaten MU this season. The volleyball team's redshirt senior Holly Mertens was named to the Big East Conference Weekly Honor Roll this Monday afternoon. It marked the 4th time this year that Mertens has received the award. Now we'll go to Denny, who's with our analysts Pat and Aaron with more.
Thanks. Back here with Pat and Aaron, and we're talking volleyball for one last section. And Holly Mertens, big part of this team's success. What do you guys look forward, and who are going to be the key players going into the Big East tournament and even further into the NCAAs?
Oh, well, Holly is great. I mean, as you said, one of the best right-side hitters that the conference has to offer, probably the best in the conference for sure. However, they are going to have to beat Louisville if they're going to win the Big East tournament. They haven't done it yet. They could beat Notre Dame again. They could definitely do that. They could beat them 3 times in a row. But they need to get over the hump against Louisville, and they need to be able to stop Louisville's elite outside hitter, Lola Arslanbekova. And if they can do that, I think they can win the Big East championship.
I definitely think it's going to be the seniors. This is the seniors' final weekend, so they definitely have to step it up. They definitely are going to play for something. They're playing for blood pretty much. I expect them to do really well. I expect them to play hard.
All right, you heard it here first. We're sending it back to Mike and Sean.
That will do it for this episode of the Golden Eagles Sports Report.
For my co-host Mike Cianciolo, our analyst Denny Gallagher, Aaron Maben, and Pat Leary, I'm Sean Owens. Good night, Marquette.